dawn in the land of the rising sun. In the 1960s, as the horrors of World War II gradually fade away, Japan's economy experiences an unprecedented boom. Thanks to strict discipline and a will towards continuous improvement, the country is catching up to the industrialized nations of the West, a fast-paced era. Tokyo is soon going to host the Summer Olympics. New records are in demand, and not just in the stadium. The Japanese State Railroad is pursuing a grand project. The world's first high-speed train. You have been entrusted with carrying out the project. Your motto is absolute perfection through continuous improvement. The country's topography has several pitfalls in store. Numerous obstacles must be overcome so that the new train can reach top speeds of over 200 kilometers per hour. Mountains, bodies of water, and populated areas make it hard to plan a straight-line route. Tackle these construction challenges and create a masterpiece of Japanese engineering. Each route segment presents various difficulties, each of which calls for taking very specific measures. Find out what needs to be done. Mountainous terrain stands in the way of level track routing. Arrange test drillings for building tunnels. If the route is supposed to run along the straightest path, the mouth of Lake Hamana has to be dealt with. Make preparations for building a bridge. Excellent! Under your expert guidance, the necessary preliminary work has been completed in short order. Now the actual route construction is next on the list. See to it that the necessary construction materials are delivered and use a precisely planned embankment to make sure that the maximum peak velocity is reached whenever possible. The route is going to be subjected to enormously high levels of stress. Large amounts of steel and concrete provide for the required stability. Japan is a major fishing nation. Everything that ends up in the net ends up on a plate, even when it's not a fish at all, but a whale, for example. Good money can be made with that. A popular saying goes, "Big fish don't live in small ponds." Process the fresh seafood from Fisher Tom's trawler for sushi, sashimi, and other specialties in Japanese cooking. The whole earth is shaking. That happens frequently in Nippon. No cause for alarm. Carry on. It's bucking again. What could have done that? How weird. As if your trawl net tickled something at the bottom of the ocean. The nature of the high-speed route demands that a special standard is met. Steep inclines and sharp curves. Huh? It's happened again. This is slowly getting scary. But there's no time to speculate. The fishing quota is still a long way off. Something's wrong here. This can't be any normal quake. The epicenter of the tremors seems to lie somewhere out here in the ocean. Find out where exactly. It looks like your sideline has startled something really monstrous deep down in the ocean. Something that seems to be bothered by your activities. It's bubbling and churning and scratching the ship's hull. Maybe you'd better stop. route has been completed, the backbone of the Japanese railroad network. Now it has to be ensured that everything runs with the greatest precision. Analyze the tracks and rolling stock in terms of possible optimization potential. Prepare the future route maintenance and provide for the greatest possible safety in the event of an earthquake. Dr. Yellow makes sure that everything runs smoothly without a hitch. The yellow work train detects even the smallest defects. This is especially important on bridges and in tunnels. Perform the necessary test runs. If the system happens to fail, the staff must be able to bring the train to a standstill as fast as possible. Every single car ought to be stripped down to its individual parts at regular intervals. The hub office needs capable personnel to do this. final preparations were able to be completed on schedule, and the new railroad line festively inaugurated in time for the Olympic Games. The train is so popular that demand exceeds the existing offer by far. But the new route isn't making everyone happy. The residents living alongside the tracks are complaining about the noise. The increased passenger volume calls for several optimizations. The average speed needs to be increased, the route capacity enlarged, and waiting times reduced. Laying out a Japanese garden is a fine art. Each stone, each tree, whatever the object, it symbolizes something else. The worldly on this side and the otherworldly beyond. Divine and earthly beings. Permanence and transience. You've already presented satisfactory solutions for all kinds of challenges, but it remains your responsibility to attend to the customers and increase revenues, because the debts accumulated due to route construction still haven't been paid off yet. And people are only prepared to pay the downright hefty ticket prices when everything is the way it should be. The gardens are precisely planned down to the last detail. Each individual object must be in equilibrium with every other one. Create perfect harmony. Despite pleasing numbers of passengers, the construction debts are still far from paid off. Transport even more passengers in order to improve your balance sheet. On the path to continuous improvement, the point is to avoid all activities that, although they consume resources, don't generate any value. They are the 7 types of muda: overproduction, waiting time, superfluous transport, defective products, excessive inventory, unnecessary motion, and inappropriate processing. What a sight! Absolute perfection. An immaculate garden. Whoever enters it is instantly tranquility itself. Follow the teachings of Kaizen on the path to continuous improvement and avoid the 7 types of muda at your business operation. Happy customers are good customers. Surveys have shown that potential for optimization exists in various sectors. Passengers are complaining that train cars are too cramped, the train stations overcrowded, and about the lack of culinary options in the bistro dining car. What's more, the trains ought to run more frequently